All right, everybody, welcome into the Women's Wellness Network on International Women's Day. Wonderful day, right? Yay. We love us all the time, but today especially. Because, of course, as Penny just said, where would the world be without women? Nobody would be here. So we are super important. And yeah, we like to be recognized, at least occasionally, I think. So our guest today is Penny Lee Prevost. Oh,
Yep.
I usually don't say last names because I'm not very good at them. I get them. I don't, I want people to have the right name so people can find them properly and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
anyways, welcome here. Welcome here. Can you please tell me where on the planet you are?
Yeah, I actually live in a small town outside of the nation's capital of Canada, Ottawa. And so I'm 20 minutes southeast of the city, literally right off the 417 at the Limoges exit. So we've been living here over 35 years. And I used to tell people that, before cell phones, if people ran out of gas or had a flat tire, they would walk to the end of the ramp and show up at my door. So I've always had an open door policy. I'm very I believe that we are all intended to connect for a purpose, whether it's for a short thing or a long thing. um I'm just open to helping people in general.
Kind soul you are. So, yeah, I know a little bit about your interests and what you do in the world. Can you share those with the Women's Wellness Network?
Absolutely. So, one of the things that I have been practicing for a very long time is vision boards and being accountable. But really, it's more than just putting pictures on a board. It's really about understanding your belief systems and understanding why you want certain things so that you can really have an emotional attachment to that to be able to bring it into your life. And I've experienced that many times over my lifetime. And I have a business partner, Liz M. Raymond, who runs the Graduate Network with me. And the Graduate Thrivers is an opportunity for women in business to come together so that they have kind of like a board of directors, bounce ideas off of, but also continue to move forward with their business step by step. So one of the things that we do is a vision board, and we focus on four key areas: relationships, your financial situation, your emotional well-being, how you give back and make a difference in the community, and your physical well-being. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't help other people, right? And so that's one of the things that I tended to skirt around. I tried hard to make sure I chose healthy food options, and um, I, you know, make sure I meditate and I get my rest and things like that. But exercise to me was something that was, I just avoided it. And so whenever I did this vision board, I said, if I got paid to exercise, I would show up and be accountable. And so that's just how my thought processes were. Put it out there, and for 6 months, I affirmed I get paid to exercise. And then my girlfriend invited me to this dance class, which was in the west end of the city. So it was in Canada, which is an hour from me. And I personally, if I wanted to do it, I wasn't going to travel an hour every week to go and do this class. So I just thought, okay, well, something is telling me that I need to be an instructor. If I'm going to do this, I need to go and get trained. And it was funny because Liz said, it wasn't 2 weeks and I was on my way to the training. So I took one class, and 2 weeks later, I went and got the training so that I could do it myself, but also share it with friends. And it has evolved tremendously since then. I've had an opportunity to, one, heal my body, and two, teach people how they too can understand, excuse me, their body and be able to work with their body to heal themselves.
What a fun way. That sounds like such a fun, yeah, getting back
Excuse
into your
me.
body that way. It's like a little
Well,
creative even.
the thing is that I think a big part of it is the music
Mm.
because the music is very intentionally chosen to hit each of the chakras. And
Oh.
so through a class, we have an opportunity to move our energy
Mhm.
through our chakras, through our joints. And people just, uh, I guess a lot of people tend to discount what their body is saying. So, for example, if they have a sore lower back, maybe they've sat at a computer all day long. And part of the problem is they're not moving the energy. So the energy staying stagnant. When you get up and you start moving your hips and moving your pelvis and just, getting the energy moving, particularly to music, music tends to help you to disconnect. And so you're just in the moment, your body resonates with the music, with the sounds. And the class, after an hour, people are like, wow, it's over already because they've just really tapped into listening to their body.
That's so interesting. I've never heard of that. Like the movements with the chakras and like energizing, picking up the music, the resonance of it. Yeah,
Yep.
that must be so invigorating for those people who are there.
Exactly. So this is part of the whole benefit is that people come out and they're energized, but they're also relaxed at the same time. And they're like, it's the weirdest thing, I was really tired after work, came to class, and now I'm super energized, but I also all the stresses are gone. Everything. I'm just really relaxed. So it's a great practice for people who um, I say for people who don't like to exercise because it's really, to me, it's just a lot of fun. We're dancing and we get to enjoy movement, self expression. I purposely take people through certain moves so that they're moving all of their different body parts. For example, we work on the base, like I already mentioned, the hip bumps, hip circles, and things like that. People know what that is, but the coolest part of the whole practice is that it's a combination of 9 movement forms. So we have 3 dance arts. Duncan dance, which is very flowy, contemporary type dancing, jazz dance, which is very show off, here I am, and modern dance, which is really about making shapes and being having your own self expression. And then we have 3 martial arts. So we move into kicks and punches and blocks and um, sometimes we just need to get that energy out, like if we're frustrated about something at work, this gives you an arena in which it's safe, it's a safe environment, but you can definitely direct the energy outwards and so that you release all that tension. Makes you feel powerful.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. And so there's Tai Chi, Taekwondo, and Aikido. And then we have 3 healing arts, which are Alexander, Feldenkrais, and yoga. So a lot of people know what yoga is. Alexander is really about head and eye movements and intentionally, looking around and following your hands and being able to really lift your head up off of the weight of your neck, like so just allowing yourself to have like a feather at the top of your head that you're lifting up kind of thing. And Feldenkrais is a purposeful movement. So when I say, for example, spear fingers, okay? So when you put your fingers in this format, what do you sense? Well, you can sense the top of your hand, you can sense your wrist, you can actually sense all the way down your forearm to your elbow. So what does your hand want to do? It wants to twist and turn in this position. So it's a very educational practice as well. People learn about their body, but they also learn how their body is trying to communicate with them. And so we always stay in the pleasure, joy of movement. We don't want to extend beyond what we're capable of because the body will tell you it hurts. I've had enough of that. I don't want that. And so we honor and respect our body and make sure we stay in the happy place, if you will.
Well, it sounds like, there's so many different little modalities that fit within there, which would also be like a little taster for people who, oh, I don't know what this is. Oh, maybe I like this. Now I want to go and do that. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
like really, that's really cool to incorporate all those things into like I guess it's a practice, right?
It
It's a
is.
practice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called NIA technique, which is neuro integrated action. So basically, it's stimulating the mind. So as I said, the music often is a big connection for people. When they hear the music, it hits each of your chakras, so you're actually moving the energy up and through your body, through your joints, allowing it to release. And I was at a point where I was actually getting frustrated because I healed my body through this practice, but I'm also a very committed person. And so I knew that in time that I would see the benefits, and I have. But I wanted to be able to have more people benefit from it. And people would come to class and they're going, I don't know if I can keep up to you. Well, you don't have to. I'm just guiding you, right? And you can do it in your own body's way. But people are creatures of habit. They like to mirror other people. And so people were trying hard to keep up to me. And I decided last year that I would take another training under the NIA technique called Move to Heal. And this is same thing, all the different movement forms. There's 52 different moves put it together in this series of moves called katas that comes from martial arts. It's done barefoot.
52.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Okay, so when I say 52, one move is creepy crawlers. Okay, so it's
Okay.
not hard.
Okay.
Another move is hip bumps, which we did that earlier, right? Just bumping from side to side. So they're not difficult moves. It's so that we move all 700 muscles and all 200 bones in 1 hour.
That's
That
fantastic.
that's the intention, yeah.
Wow.
And we're also celebrating movement, and so we might be frustrated, so we can get our frustrations out. Like I said, doing the martial arts and things like that. But excuse me, it's it's definitely an opportunity for people to let go, right? Just let things go and really enjoy moving in their own body's way. So the 52 moves is not a scary thing. It's just to make sure that we as instructors cover all our bases, if you will. And so the Move to Heal practice is been very welcomed by many seniors. It kind of slows down the pace a little bit, but still delivers the same thing. They have what we call the promise of Nia. And my students often will come and they're like, "Where have you been? Like this is an amazing feeling." They look forward to coming to class, and particularly knowing that if they have a sore shoulder or sore knee or whatever, they can still do the movement. They can sit in a chair. They can use a chair for balance. There's no restrictions. Everybody has the opportunity to do it. It's really based on what they choose to do and how they want to do it. And in the moment, they might feel like sitting down, but they also might feel energized after the next song and get up and start standing and moving upright, so the options are definitely there.
Yeah, that's I love it. Is this something that's like solely just in person, or do you do any of this like online?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the best part. Of course, during COVID, I had no choice, right? We had to convert to online, excuse me. And so I've kept up the online offer as well. I do teach in person most of the time, but I have two classes online now. One is Wednesday night on Zoom. It's at 7 o'clock, and I that's the classic Nia. So when I say classic Nia, it's a little bit higher cardio, but again, I have one woman who's a friend of mine that I met years ago through the Heart and Stroke Foundation. We'd canvassed together. She had had a heart condition at the time, and she started doing the practice with me, the classic Nia. I've been teaching now for 8 years, and she just, I'd say to her, sit. If you need to sit, just sit and slow it down. So she's done the classic Nia all along. Um, so I just wanted to point out that the classic Nia, you can still do it. You can scale back, do whatever your body will let you do. But the moving to heal I offer on Saturdays at 1 o'clock, and that can be done again either seated or standing, whatever. But that's on Zoom as well.
Fabulous. That's a lot of options. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's great.
yeah,
Um, now I did hear you say seniors, so is it for like every age group?
it is. Yeah, so I'm actually doing a class for a sorry, for kids at before and after school daycare, so they're not like in daycare little kids. They're probably about four to 10, I guess. And I'll be doing that during March break next week, which will be a lot of fun. But most of my students are, run between the age of, I'd say, 35 to 65, most of
Okay.
them.
Well, I mean, well, as you said, you can do it sitting, you can do it standing, but I
Yep.
love the thing with the kids because they come out of school all wound up or frustrated or whatever. Yeah, and perfect for spring break so their parents don't have to be driven crazy the whole time.
Exactly, exactly. And the thing is that um I I have been teaching this for quite a while, and I've always wanted to do retreats. So I have a friend of mine who has been a student with me, and she teaches nutrition and breath work. So we're going to do a retreat, which I'm super excited about because I've always wanted to do one, but I have not yet had that experience. And so this will be the first time that we do that. And it's in Ontario, it's not far from Ottawa. So it'll be a great opportunity for people to come together and really um, learn more about the whole practice, but also just to give them a chance to recharge their batteries.
Yes, totally. Will you be doing like other things besides the dance? Will you be incorporating like vision boards and stuff?
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
so that's the whole point is to bring people together to allow them to, I'll prompt them with some questions so that they can journal and get the juices flowing, if you will. And of course, feeding our body with healthy options. And then we'll be doing some movement, and we'll have time to go for meditation walk as well, and be able to connect with nature. And yeah, so it's going to be a great event. It's called the Value Vitality Retreat, and it's going to be on the weekend before Mother's Day, so May 3rd to the 5th.
very nice. Very, we'll
Yeah,
have to put that information in the comments so that
I
if
will.
anybody wants to check it out, especially people that live in the area, yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole combination of the things. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm all about. I love having fun.
Well, this is good. We need more fun in our lives, I think.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and I don't think that's just my personal opinion. I think that's across the board. Everybody thinks we need a little more fun.
Well, it's interesting because I have, with my business partner at Graduate, we created a deck of 50 cards called the Positive Attitude Zone Talk cards. And
Awesome.
they are 50 questions that you can pick one every day and journal on it. That's a big part of what we do at my friend's Friday potluck. And so people are just blown away by the by the questions that they pick, because they pick a question and then they answer it as kind of my icebreaker. So we talk about the question. But the idea that I wanted to share with you is one of the questions is, what did you do for fun today? And that's a really important question because as adults, we tend to park the fun at the end of the line. You know, we do all the other things that we need to, all of our responsibilities. And then at the end of the day, we think, well, what did I do for fun? you know? And so this has been very interesting to hear how people have procrastinated around the idea of just like not even very long, 15 minutes, have fun, like just do something that's fun.
Remember the joy. We got to remember the joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like
Well,
little kids, right?
yeah, well, that's what we're here to do, right? Like we said earlier, we have one life to live. Might as well make it fun and enjoyable. And if it's not fun, find out why and how you can change things a little bit so that it is fun. Just like in the movement practice, if you're doing an elbow strike and that hurts, well, don't do that. It's very simple. But I guess we're so conditioned to constantly be responsible for things and go, 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 go. But at the end of the day, it's about your happiness and, you know, your joy.
We all need to get up and move a little more.
Yeah. And, it's interesting because, like I said, at Graduate Thrivers, I realized that I one of the questions we ask is what makes you happy. And so without thinking, I just wrote on my paper dancing. So I don't know about you, but if I have a bad day or somebody gets to me and I'm just in a not a good place, I can crank the music up in the living room and start dancing around like a fool, like nobody's watching, and just shake out all that energy and then I feel great. So dancing to me doesn't seem like exercise. And through reflection, so when that question was, I answered that question, it was 6 years before I became an instructor because I didn't really understand.
The universe directs us in little ways and we don't,
They
right?
Exactly. So that's the thing is like I didn't know what that meant until later on. Like I said, I was doing a vision board and I said to my friend, bah, if I got paid to exercise, I would definitely show up and be accountable. And that's what I did. I affirmed it for 6 months, and lo and behold, my friend invited me to this class, and I'm like, okay, I'll go, but I'll come and try it, but I'm not gonna drive that distance all the time. And so it's like, okay, well, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well do it to share with other people, and became an instructor. But my point about that was that through graduate and continually asking myself questions about the concept of exercise, I realized that it was because when I was 14, I had open heart surgery
Oh.
and I couldn't move to the way the other kids did, right? So I didn't have the endurance. I didn't know why, but everybody would tease me. So I thought of exercise as something that was shameful
Mm.
because people would tease me. And so I avoided it. I always avoided it. Whereas dancing, I would go to a party and I could get on the dance floor and stay there all night. So how come I can do that, but I can't go to the gym and work out? And that's where this whole, okay, you know what? I'm just going to embrace it. I'll go be an instructor and see where it leads me. And today I teach classes pretty much every day.
Awesome. And you're feeling great, obviously, because you
Yes.
have that, that glow, you have that verve about you. So yeah, whatever you're doing is obviously working.
Yeah, and very rarely do I am I set back. Like I don't get sick
Mm.
often, which I'm very grateful for because I honestly believe if you keep moving, then it keeps everything active in your body. So everything works more efficiently if you're moving. As a matter of fact, there's lots of studies done based on that, a lot of the healing, like I said before, if you have a sore elbow, So I had a student, I'll just share this. I had a student that is relatively new to the class. And she messaged me and she said, Penny Lee, I fell and I hurt my knee. So I don't think I should come to class. And I said, you know what? It's a healing practice. Come to class. And I said, just honor your body and do what your body will let you do. Holy jumping. After class, she came up to me. She said, thank you for putting that little fire under me, because she said, I didn't, because they think if you go and exercise, you're going to make it worse. But the case is not that.
The other
If
way
you
around.
come, yeah, you help give it a little bit of lubrication by opening and closing the knee joint, opening and closing the elbows. So the fluid is flowing, so it doesn't sit, right? And that's a big part of our healing, the way our body works. So it's just conditioning the mind to think properly as to what the possibility is working in collaboration with your body. And we all know that the mind, body, and spirit are connected, but do you really listen to your body? I know a lot of people, if they have pain or discomfort, they automatically go to a solution of medication.
Yep.
And that's just a band aid. It's not actually helping to resolve the issue, right? So if they came and moved, um, we have cellular memory. Our body knows, it's amazing. Our body knows what to do given the proper environment. You've got to give it the environment in which it can heal, right?
Yep. I just
So
think about all that dancing and all the chemistry that flows through the body, the endorphins and things that are being released. That's like that's healing in itself, right? Just having that good chemistry.
absolutely. And so I tell people, get a dose of happiness by coming out to class, because it gets the dopamine, the oxytocin, the endorphins, and the serotonin. It is all elevated. And particularly, if people are suffering from anxiety or depression or things like that, it's a great tool to boost your happiness hormones. And it's very easy to do. It's very easy to do. And particularly if they can just hop on Zoom, they don't even have to go anywhere. If they're not comfortable being in a big class with a lot of people or what have you, they still have the opportunity to move their body. And it's also fantastic for people with Alzheimer's and dementia, because I so here's another fellow that was in my class, and I had them bent over from they were sitting in a chair, so I had them bent over, and I wanted them to tickle the floor. So they were doing the creepy crawlers, but like on the floor, right? And they didn't have to touch the floor, just the concept of bending over and tickling the floor. Well, the gentleman came up to me afterwards and he said, I don't know what it was about this class, but you had me back in my 20s when I used to pick tobacco. And
Oh,
he said, and yeah, and then I thought about when I was picking beets, and he would work for a farmer and they would and pick the beets in the field. So he says, I haven't thought about that in like forever. And all of a sudden, these memories started flowing back. And he said it was just so fun so it does trigger. That's why it's called neurointegrated action, right? Because your brain is activating memories. Often in listening to songs, you can remember things that happened. Um, Even if it's not exact song, if it's a rhythm or a beat of a song, you can relate that to an experience that you've had with other music. So yeah, it's super cool.
super cool, super fun. How
It
awesome.
is.
Yeah. So if our ladies here on the Women's Wellness Network would like to connect with you, how do they find you?
I have a website, pennyleeprevo.com. So it's very simple. You can go there and it'll say classes. So you can click on the classes and then be able to register through the Zoom classes. If they are local in the area where I am, they can certainly reach out, and I've got lots of options as far as in-person classes. The other thing that I'm looking to do is to work with more retirement homes and be able to offer Zoom classes to the activity directors, to a group of seniors as well. So that I'd like to do on Zoom. So if anybody is dealing with seniors and would like that, or know people that are in retirement homes that would like to participate, that's a big thing that I'm working on too.
Well, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. You are one busy woman.
yeah. Busy's a good thing when you're doing things that you love,
Oh,
right?
isn't that the truth? It's so true. Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
that. I hear that.
Yeah. So, and yeah, it's lots of fun. But particularly, that's why the dancing motivator mindset and movement, they definitely go together. And actually, when we do our workshops, I always have people do movement, because if you move after you learn something, it sticks better.
That makes sense. Kind of gets a chance to integrate right away rather than waiting for you to go and do something else like meditate or something, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Exactly. So it's really quite powerful, you know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Penny. That was Penny Lee. That's amazing. Seriously.
No
I'm
problem.
learning all these things coming on, like having this women's wellness network. I'm learning lots of things, and
For
I've
sure.
got some good healing modalities in my toolkit too. But man, I don't know. I love this. I love this stuff. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
coming out. Thank you so much.
There's You're very welcome. I'm really grateful that you invited me, and this is all new for me being in the network. So it's really interesting, like you said, just you interviewing people. It really gives us an opportunity to learn a whole lot more about so many other modalities out there, and what's available.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just being able to see the person and kind of connect with them on a different level than just reading it in a book or, a friend telling you about it. I think it's a great way to, and that it's international, like, right? Like somebody from, who knows, Seoul, South Korea or something could say, hey, I want to do this dancing thing, right? Like it's open for
Exactly.
everybody. Yeah. How beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's
You
wonderful.
know, and that's what technology has done for us, right? It's brought us closer together. And I really believe we're all connected anyways. So it's just a much easier way of being able to reach the masses much further.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Penny Lee, and
I
I
thank
hope
you.
to have you back sometime because that was very fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, right. So
Maybe
thank
we could do a little demo next time or something. That would be
Oh
fun.
my goodness, what a great idea. Oh, we could like do some kind of event where people could like sign up and join in or
Yeah.
something. Even just,
Yeah.
a few minutes of such a thing.
Exactly.
Good idea.
That'd be a
Okay.
lot of fun.
Yep, we're going to be talking about that one.
Sounds good.
Okay, so ladies, you heard it right here. Penny Lee's going to probably be back and maybe we're going to be doing some dancing together. Now that's going to be fun.
That
So,
would be a blast.
yes, absolutely. So, thank you again. And thank you all for watching today. And happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day to you too. And, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sharing the love. So, until next time, be well.